there, Space Cadets! Welcome to Rabbit's Refuse, a channel where we look at oddities, cultural cast-offs, and unusual children's media. I'm Rabbit, and today we'll be gawking at thebrainiacs.com. But first, let's look at this vintage delight.
The crowd seems ready. It's a beautiful spring evening, perfect for a doubleheader.
Domino's pepperoni cheddar doubleheader.
Buy a large pepperoni pizza at regular price and get an extra layer with cheddar cheese and extra pepperoni free. A pepperoni cheddar doubleheader. He steps up to the box. It's a long one. It's going, gone. And with every medium or large pizza order,
get your free Kool-Aid soft drink mix.
a 2-quart pack, 30 Kool-Aid points.
Something for nothing.
How about that?
At Domino's.
And now, our feature presentation.
Thebrainiacs.com is a G-rated film from the year 2000. It was directed by Blair Treu and is set in a twisted capitalist dystopia. It stars Kevin Kilner, Michael Angarano, and Kevin Jamal Woods. It also features Dom DeLuise and Rich Little. Yes, Rich Little.
Hold it there, Pilgrim.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Don't bother. I didn't give it the office either.
Look at the little tot go. I'll send the turkey to Bob Cratchit's. Boy, will he be surprised. Strange walk on that young kid. I bet if you put a dress on him, I could take him to my nephew's place for dinner.
But Dom DeLuise's performance is so much worse. May he rest in peace. Let's discuss what the film is actually about. Matt Tyler is 11 years old, and his dad, David, is a small business owner and a workaholic. David is the CEO and owner of Tyler Toys, his family's struggling small-time toy manufacturer. Matt's best friend, Danny, is a
perfect, beautiful business child
who just so happens to live in the neighborhood. Kelly is Matt's shy, secret super genius sister. She also barely features in this film, unfortunately. David is, well, an absentee father of sorts. After the passing of his mother, all Matt really wanted was for his dad to spend some time with him and his sister.
And the cat's in the cradle and a silver spoon.
David decides that work is more important than fatherhood for what we can assume is probably the millionth time, as he cancels his family camping trip in what his kids seem to think is a very predictable way. David manages to disappoint the entire family, and Danny goes on waxing poetic about the death of idealism?
It's tragic, really, standing here watching the death of idealism.
What 11-year-old talks like that? The boys have a very topical and not so relatable discussion about mafia movies and shows, when Matt suddenly decides that his dad is constantly at work because he's in deep with the mob. And we have a poorly stretched segue, where the boys play spies. Honestly, it feels too long. Like Family Guy cutaway gag too long.
Ah! 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 Ah!
And so on and so on and so on.
This is all under the guise of running to the rescue of David, but in reality they're just trying to eavesdrop on the meeting that ruined Matt's family time. The kids decide that the only solution is for Matt to become his dad's boss. Then he can control how much time he works. The best way they can think of to legitimately follow through on their plan is to start their own small business, thus buying up Tyler Toys through the purchase of shares. The boys head off to the bank to start an account. That way they can put in money and purchase those shares. While they're there, they meet a lovely woman named Kara. Kara Banks. Yes. They named a bank employee Miss Banks.
creative.
While at the bank, Matt and Danny find out that they need a minimum of $500 to open a business account at all at that small town bank. They need investors. The boys brainstorm for quite some time, but they honestly can't figure out what to sell to these investors that they need so desperately. And then Kelly traps Matt in a force field. While Matt is trapped in Kelly's room, they end up discussing the project that she has obsessed over since their mother's passing. It's a project that
entire nations would be fighting over.
Kelly is designing a microchip. It creates neural pathways within itself, and it can think like a human. It's pretty amazing and world-changing if you ask me. She does what she can to swear Matt to secrecy.
Swear you won't tell anyone?
Yeah, like who am I gonna tell?
To which he immediately tells her secret to someone else.
Danny!
A small side note here. The boys' school is just a little bit off. They're certainly taught a lot more about economics than I was when I was 11 years old. I mean, we didn't do exercises about seriously starting a business when I was that age. The assignment is a mostly realized business proposal. And we learned that this...
Not so fast, round boy. We're corporate raiders. Our mission statement is to devour all of your business.
Is somehow totally acceptable behavior for class. In fact, the teacher gives approval. It's backhanded, but it's tacit nonetheless.
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it!
So, what do these responsible new business owners want to sell to their investors? After no deliberation or deep thought whatsoever. Lemonade? Some of Grandma's yummy cookies? They'll sell your stuff in their garage sale? Exorbitantly expensive cutlery from a shady recruiting company? No! Kelly's freaking Microchip.
Matt and Danny create a website to market the microchip. It's essentially a proto-Kickstarter, and other children from all over the world respond to the site with fervor. So much, in fact, that it takes multiple large mailbags to contain their incoming investment money. The boys go back to the bank, with a super sketchy-looking briefcase of money in tow. At first, Miss Banks is super skeptical, as one should be. But suddenly...
$4 million.
Cool. Everyone's unwittingly an accomplice to fraud, I guess. Fun.
The boys end up buying the majority share in Tyler Toys, and they stage a virtual corporate takeover. With...
Mr. Chips! Sorry, I mean, Mr. Chips.
Memoji, or even one of those really wild interactive style filter settings on a social media or video chat app. Good examples are like Zoom, TikTok, or Instagram filters.
My favorite part is when Matt, as Mr. Chips, says,
Hasta lasagna!
I got my eyes on ya!
In the meantime, Miss Banks ends up falling for David pretty hard by their second encounter. Unfortunately for him, David was an absolute Karen upon their introduction.
Look, I've got a business to run, you know. I don't have time to sit here with some assistant who doesn't...
Mr. Tyler.
Mr. Luker, it's so good to see you. Let's hear what your boss has to say.
Let's hear what your boss has to say.
Miss Banks has been sent over by our big scary villain, Ivan Luker, to smooth things over with David.
You'll regret the day you were born. Ah! Ooh! Ooh! Off! Hey! Ooh! Ah! Oh!
What a ding-dong.
By the way, just so you all know, Ivan Luker is the father of those great value Sprouse twins I showed you earlier, terrorizing other children in the classroom. They're villain's henchmen as the film progresses. David and Miss Banks have an awkward exchange over coffee about his business, and the scene is fraught with a level of romantic tension not seen on screen since Dana Scully and Fox Mulder. Or maybe Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper? Okay, fine. It's more like Barry B. Benson and Vanessa Bloom.
You like jazz?
The boys excel at running a business together, but overall, they're stressed to the max, and they fully understand that they can't keep this ruse up forever, especially since the FTC has followed the money, and ultimately, they're catching up to the boys' fraudulent business dealings. Seriously, the boys have defrauded investors at the best, and at the worst, they have inadvertently started a Ponzi scheme. Also, they've bought up a failing company, and there's no return on their investment. Due to Ivan Luker's capitalist pig nature,
He says he accepted.
Yes, he did, sire.
he wants to buy up and crush every small business indebted to him, including but not limited to Tyler Toys. David is up to his eyeballs in debt, about $500,000 deep, and Ivan is just waiting for him to slip up and break their loan agreement.
I honestly don't want to spoil the ending on this one. If you really want to savor the flavor of it, I would suggest actually going and seeking it out. Unfortunately, as of my research of this, I can't find very much on the film itself or its director, Mr. Blair Treu. As of my posting this video, it is unavailable from any streaming source anywhere online, which is truly unfortunate. The good news is, you can purchase a DVD or VHS copy from multiple different retailers on the internet. So, if you're interested, please, give it a shot. I personally usually buy my films, especially things that I'm going to be sourcing for this show, from local thrift stores. I mean, if you want to try and find it out in the wild, your guess is as good as mine of where you'd find it. But, good luck.
Don't be so mean to your hair.
Damage caused by everyday styling soon adds up. VO5 Hot Oil penetrates and conditions your hair deep down. For daily damage, get the weekly repair. VO5 Hot Oil.
I'd like to share some of my favorite out-of-context clips from this film. And there are some real gems in here, so buckle up, buttercups.
Well, Matt broke all the chips they were packing as camping snacks. Nice job, kid. Is David okay? I think he needs someone to read the directions to him a little slowly and deliberately. Also, he doesn't seem to know how to vet clients.
My client will be happy to hear that.
Who did you say you work for again?
I didn't.
I, for one, am glad his underage son is in charge of the business. I mean, I have more confidence in that little snack smasher than I ever did in David. David! Why would you not only put your finger in, but blow into the sugar container that everyone has to use?
Disgusting!
Hey guys, hey guys.
No, sir.
TV doesn't work two ways. Good. Who designed this investment website? It looks like a free-to-play idle game from the early 2010s.
We did it.
Oh, and we were told that these boys are 11 years old, right?
I don't feel so good anymore. The last time I felt like this was in October 1987, when the market crashed.
Weren't you born that month?
What does that tell you?
So wait, that makes Danny 13 years old as of the release of this film. They should have cut that little snippet out if they knew they were going to be releasing in 2000.
OSHA hates him. He causes multiple safety violations in one day and never gets caught. Learn the shocking trick to his extreme results.
David's a better impressionist than Rich Little.
Put the needle down. I got something on my face.
Oh, speaking of Rich Little, do you wonder where he's been for this entire film? Okay, without spoiling too much, I would like to introduce you to Judge Mandel. Your Honor.
Would you all be
Seated.
Ford makes it easy to buy a new Escort by offering these 4 LX models, all equipped with these great features for one low price. And now we're also offering an easy 2-year lease for just $199 a month. That's your choice of 4 well-equipped Escorts for just $199 a month. Ford Escort. Now it's easier than ever to buy or lease America's most popular small car.
All in all, thebrainiacs.com is a heartwarming story with a lot of love and care put into its production. It looks like it was a real, honest passion project, and it has a unique story, and it's fun. I mean, it has its flaws, yes, but I can't even find how much the production costs to make, or honestly, any real in-depth information whatsoever. It's clearly a very low-budget indie film, but for a family film made over 20 years ago, they did really well with what they had, including managing to get a couple of familiar names on board for their project. I mean, the acting is cheesy, but there also seems to have been a lot of research and real-world information put into the script. I mean, how bad could it be? It opens with the greatest font ever created in its beginning credits. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more disappointment in the future, and click the bell to be notified when I post more of my awful content and my incessant ramblings. See you in the next one.
Hasta lasagna! I got my eyes on ya.